games the tide when he sees your eyes running through the night. Only takes him back, always side to side, crowding through the night. Run, you can run, but you'll never hide. The walls are coming, you're running. The walls are coming, you're running. The walls are coming, you're running. The walls are coming.
Hello, everyone. It's not Dave tonight. You're stuck with me and some other lovely ladies that are all coming to talk Wolves tonight. So there's your big surprise. Great to see you all. Thanks for tuning in. Drop your messages in the comments of where you're listening from and what you've been up to in this break. First of all, I'm going to bring on the lovely Ashley. Hello, Ashley.
Hello.
How are you? What have you been up to? There's been no football. Well, no football for Wolves.
Just been like spending time with my family really. My nan and granddad had been away, so just been seeing them today, watching some of the other football that's been going on. So like the cup final and watch Villa earlier, beat West Ham. So yeah.
And the ladies, of course, have played today as well. The women.
Yeah, they won 5-0, I think it was. So good result for them again as well.
Yeah, we'll come to them a little bit later on. So thanks for joining, Ashley. It's really great to have you on the show. We've also got Alexis. You'll all know Alexis. She's been on lots of times as well. Hi, Alexis. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
I'm not too bad. So what you been up to, mate? What's on the agenda in good old Bromley?
Well, I took my dog for a nice long walk, and then same as Ashley, really. I've just been watching. I watched the cup final, and then I watched Aston Villa game as well, just a bit of interest. But yeah, no, Arsenal losing made me a bit happy. I just thought I can't live in a world where they're on for the quadruple, aren't they? Well, they were. So yeah, no, I was happy that Man City ended up winning anyways.
Yeah, they've won so much though, haven't they? But
I know, but there's something about Arsenal I just
don't like Arsenal.
Yeah. I think it's an Arteta, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. But I think there is an arrogance with some of the top six though, isn't there? And the teams up there that they think they're a little bit entitled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched the cup final. I've been out, so we caught the very end of it. But yeah, so and finally on our lineup, I'm gonna you'll all remember Deb. She made her debut a couple of weeks ago. Hi, Deb. How are you?
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm good, thank you. Hope you all are too.
Yeah, and what have you been up to?
Enjoying this glorious weather. So been out and about doing a little bit of fitness, and then today I've been with my family and my mum, a belated Mother's Day and early birthday meal for my mum.
Oh, that's nice.
So I managed to watch a couple of the games yesterday evening. The Chelsea game, wow, 3-0 loss to Everton. Incredible. And then not really caught any of the games today, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it today. Moss's birthday tomorrow. He's 89 tomorrow, so we've been out for a meal with him. And, so it's been a nice day, but not done much football this weekend. It's been a nice little break. So talking about breaks, Wolves are on a big break. It's a bit unprecedented, really. We've got, it says 25 days without a game on the screen, but I think it's 24 days without a game. So that's a really, really long time. It's a little bit unprecedented. It has happened before for COVID, and it's happened when we had a winter break for the World Cup. But the whole of the league was affected by a break at that time. It wasn't just Wolves. So, I mean, I think there's good things and bad things to take out of this. So I just wanted to know, I'll go to Ashley first. Do you think the break will do them good, or do you think it's going to disrupt us?
I think it just depends on what Rob Edwards has got planned for them. I know he said he's going to give them a chance to go away with their families, or if any of them are on international break, which I'm not sure if any of them or very few got called up. So it'll give them all a chance to have a bit of a break. And then I think he said he's got a friendly planned, which I'm a bit baffled about. But as long as they all come back refreshed for West Ham on the Friday night, then that's all that matters to me in the end.
I think they might go away on a warm weather camp or something, but it doesn't seem so. They're staying here.
Yeah.
So you're sitting on the fence with that.
I think it just depends on what he's got planned, but yeah, on the fence.
How about you, Deb? Do you reckon it's going to be a good thing to have a refresh and some time off, or do you think we might lose a bit of momentum? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were on a current good run of form, and we were kind of getting that momentum going. So to have that break, yeah, they could regroup, refresh, rebuild, work on those areas that perhaps were still a little bit vulnerable and a little bit weak in. Only time will tell, I guess. But I mean, we're all feeling it, having a break and wondering what we're meant to be doing. So I'm sure they're probably thinking, why aren't we playing? Particularly when all the other teams around us are still playing, and I'd like to be playing alongside them and making sure we're still just carrying on, really. But yeah, time will tell.
And you, Alexis, what's your thoughts on this break?
I'm not a fan of it because obviously I think it ruins the momentum that we've been building, and I think we have been playing well. But I suppose it does. Rob Edwards didn't have a pre-season, did he? He hasn't really had that long of a team, so maybe it might give him a chance to look at some youth or something for next season, like thinking ahead. I'm just trying to think of something positive. But personally, I think it's a bit of a shame, and I'm not a fan of the international friendlies anyway. But it just seems a long time.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 7 games left. I think if this break had come a bit earlier in his season, it could have been a good thing. You know, it's been a tough season. We've had a real run of games. And it would, that refresh, if it had come earlier on, I think it could have been an advantage. And you know, we could have, they could have gone and regrouped and whatever. But I'm worried because we were building up this sort of head of steam. We were getting the performances were getting there. I mean, don't get me wrong, they weren't blowing your mind away with great football, but we were showing
the morale was different, wasn't it? A bit more fight.
Yeah, they were quite brave. They were going for it. They were trying. And we were picking up a few points. And now we've had this break. And I just think Wolves never do well after the international break. We always seem to come back. And then, but I think you're right.
I just don't want us to tail out and just go out with a whimper. So we've had that really good momentum, and like you say, with only 7 games to go, you're just not quite sure what their mindset's going to be.
Yeah. Well, this is it. With just 7 games to go, having had the break, does their mindset change? Does it move into thinking about the summer, where they're going to be, moving on?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like, if I've got 7 games to tick off, I think I'll be thinking about what comes after. I know they have this thing of focusing next game. That's all that's in the head. But that's not human, is it? That's not norm. So, yeah, I think we just got to wait and see, haven't we? But the first one back's a big one. It's West Ham. They're going to be up for it, because if they win, they'll go potentially above Tottenham, depending on what they do. But yeah, but they've not won all year, have they?
Well, they lost again today, 3-0.
Yeah. Tragic,
3-0 to Forest.
Tragic. I feel so sorry for them. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but it is a little bit funny, isn't it, Spurs?
Yeah, it would be
going all Spurs.
And I mean, with that stadium going to the Championship.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
For the guys watching, if you've been watching me and David when we do a weekly show, which we predict the Premier League predictions, we have a bit of a Wolves chat. We've been having this bit of debate as to who we want to come down with us, and David doesn't mind Spurs coming down with us, and I'm like, I don't want Spurs. Too much money, too much clout, too much competition for getting back up again. But he's very much like, no. It'll be everyone going to that stadium. It'll be their cup final. But
I actually have my own theory on it.
And what do you think they're doing?
I'm maybe I'm a little bit sceptical here, but I think the FA will do whatever they can to make sure that they don't go down.
You're probably right.
Will, that if it comes between us and Spurs or Forest and Spurs, I just wonder if they'll come up with a little or we might have to give you a points deduction, because they won't want Spurs to go down. I'm convinced of it, and yeah,
no,
they do tend.
Yeah, well, when they were doing this Super League thing years ago, and they were all going to have their own division where no one could get promoted or relegated, Spurs were in that, and now they, for the last few years,
and again, if you look at some of if you look at some of the decisions, not just for us, but for a lot of the clubs, and how they've been very controversial, it's almost like they're trying to still create this Super League within the Premier League. And for me, the alleged top six are just far too protected, and it's not an even playing field. I don't care what anybody says, it isn't. And I'm not saying that's just down to the refereeing and the VAR decisions. Holistically, it is not a level playing field.
No, it's not.
And for clubs like us, we're the ones that are being punished. We're not fashionable enough. But
do you know
it's
what,
still our
Deb?
club. We'll still be there, whatever.
I think you make some really good points there. I think that's really interesting to think about, because there's so many teams that feel hard done to in the Premier League. But we are. You feel like there's the teams that are like classed as important, and then there's us that make up the numbers, and we're sort of irrelevant. We're just making up those numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, I've got some questions for you all about Rob Edwards. I would really like you to give me something positive about Rob Edwards and something that you're a bit concerned about. So, bit of an assessment. What do you think of him, and how do you think he's doing? Who wants to go first? Should we go with Alexis? Do you want to throw your thoughts out there on Rob?
I think he's doing all right. He came in at a time where we were obviously very low, just morale and everything. And I feel like he had a lot of fixing to do. And I feel like we're now starting to see how it can be with him. I just feel like the fight's back now. I do. My negative would be sometimes, although recently I feel like he has started, but he doesn't always. I feel like he does the substitutions a bit late sometimes. But saying that, against Brentford, I thought they were quite spot on, bringing Angel Gomez on. But no, I think we were on track of being the lowest Premier League scorers, weren't we? and then we're not now. So I feel like he has brought a lot of positive for me anyway. So yeah, I'm happy with him.
You're happy with Rob?
Yeah.
How about you? Yeah. How about you, Deb?
I'm reasonably happy. I'm happy based on the momentum that we've kind of now got going, and we're grinding out some half decent performances. And when I say half, it's generally because we play for 45 minutes and we're shocking for 45 minutes.
Yeah. So literally half.
But we're building on that, and we are getting the points that we need. So, and again, he's working with the tools that he's inherited.
Yeah.
I know he's brought a couple of players in, Gomez and Armstrong, and I think they're both pretty decent players for where we're potentially heading. My negative would be, and I know I mentioned it in the last show, was please identify who the captain is, but maybe that's an assessment of the fact that we haven't got a leader on the pitch. And I'm hoping that's one thing that
I think that could well be the case.
Yeah, we need a leader on that pitch, and we've just got to find out who that is. And I'm not convinced that we've got one, if I'm honest, at the moment. Not one that's strong enough to rally us around and to dig deep and either to get us out of this mess or move us forwards next season in the Championship, because regardless of what division we're in, we need a leader. So I think that's going to be quite a job for him to identify who that is going to be and stick with it.
Yeah. I suppose that depends on the big shake-up in the summer, as to might need to bring someone in specifically that's going to fill that role as well. Ashley, what do you reckon of Rob?
I mean, I kind of agree with what Alexis and Deb have both said. I think my positive is when he brought Rui Silva in to get that, literally got the fans back on side straight away. Obviously, a guy who worked really close with Nuno gave us, at least in my lifetime, probably all of that, like some of the best Wolves moments ever. And I think since he's come in and worked alongside Rob and the players, that's when we've seen the performances, but not necessarily the performances get better, but the efforts got better and the fans have got back on side and everything's slowly going, as Alexis said, like it's slowly building and the momentum's building. And the positive, I think my negative is like, and this is probably going to be a bit harsh on him, but it's still quite boring to watch a lot of the time. Like, we always kind of play the same way, and like it's quite, at times it's walking football, and like I get that like a lot of the football has changed now. It's a lot of passing out from the back and stuff, but for me, like, you're a team who needs to score goals. Like, don't be passing it around the back. Just like keep going. Like, you're a team fighting relegation, and so you need to just like use your forward. You've got Tolu, you've got Armstrong, who are both decent goal scorers. Like, just keep playing it to them and stuff, playing it around the back for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. I think that's the key. Teams play out from the back, but Wolves have been passing it around at the back. That's not playing out from the back.
Yeah.
Watch other teams. They come out from the back and they're out and on, and we tend to. We don't. We have. I mean, we have done some counterattacks where we've really gone for it, but sometimes we go. We sort of go, and then we just pull back. And we don't go for the jugular at that time. I mean, I think. Am I happy with Rob?
For me,
I'm not 100%.
For me, at times,
it's what? Sorry,
it's a little bit. For me, at times, it's a little bit predictable and pedestrianised. You know how they're going to try and move the ball around, and I'm sure the other teams have picked up on that. It's not creative enough at times. We're just, it's just same old every week.
Yeah, I think
we've got to mix it up a little bit.
I think he's done a good job in galvanising the team spirits. Everyone seems much happier. But I think the club as a whole seems happier since Jeff Shee's moved on. Dare I say that name? So I think the club and people working there can feel changes across the board as well as in the team, which is going to help him. I do think he's got a much weaker team now than he inherited when he first came in. We look at what we did in the summer and the players going out, they weren't replaced, but hopefully that will bring money in, so that money's there ready so that we can go early in the summer, rather than having to wait to sell to buy. Hopefully we've got this nice little pot ready to go and he can bring in quite quickly. I think he's let himself down on the tactics sometimes. He hasn't always got the his starting 11 right, and sometimes he's dropped lucky because we had the injury to Angel Gomez and he made the changes, and so I think football is a bit of luck, I suppose. But I'm going to ask you another question on Rob. If he doesn't win another game between now and the end of the season, is he still the man to take us forward? Alexis is pulling a face at that. Go on, what do you think?
Oh, God. If he doesn't win, so the last 7, he doesn't get anything?
Yeah.
Probably. No, maybe not.
Maybe not.
I don't know. But then I always think who else is going to come in. Like, I feel like he has the passion and all that there for the club, doesn't he? It just worries me that sometimes the grass isn't always green, and like who's going to come at that level that we'd want instead. That's my only thought about it.
You know what? Like in the Premier League where we have struggled to recruit because we've been so low. But I think going down to the Championship and that reset, I think there'll be people queuing up. We could end up with a better manager. Deb, Ashley, do you want to drop in on that and share your thoughts? Deb's still deciding, aren't you? I can see.
Yeah, I want to give Rob Edwards the chance, but if he doesn't win another game between now and the end of the season, then I would be concerned.
Yeah.
But I don't know who we are going to go and get. And it's not just about who we get as the manager. It's about the infrastructure within the club and the support and the backing he's going to get. We could bring anybody in. We could bring Jose Mourinho in. But unless he's got the support to go and get the tools that he needs, then we're just going to have this merry-go-round of managers coming in and coming out. So I think we've got to believe in what he can potentially bring to the club, give him what he needs, and at least give him, I don't know, till the international break in November, let's say. But
do you think he's learned from
the
Luton? Do you think he's learned anything from relegation with Luton?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you would hope that he learned some lessons from the relegation with Luton. What's your thoughts, Ashley? You're going to stick with him if he doesn't win another game?
I think if he doesn't win another game this season, it would be a bad thing. But our season's kind of been written on the wall since we were bottom of the league when Pereira got sacked. So it would be a bad thing. But I think it's hard to judge him, on this season, even though the last few games he has done really well for us. I think it's more if he loses, say, if he doesn't get a win, say, in the first 10 in the Championship, maybe a bit less than that, probably about 6 or 7 in the Championship, then that's when it's time to be concerned, because obviously we don't know who he's going to bring in the summer. We don't know who's going to... Well, we have an idea of probably 2 players who will go. Then we don't know how the team's going to shape up and look. So I do think it'd still be bad if he doesn't win another game this season, and I'd like to hope that won't happen. I'd like to hope we will win at least 1 or 2 more games minimum. But like, I think it's a bit harsh to judge him based on that because of what he already came into this season. It's whether they can, whoever he signs, and if he's got the backing, and then what he can do in the Championship. Which, yes, Luton got relegated, but he was at Middlesbrough and they were second in the league, I think, or at least in the playoffs. So he was doing well with Middlesbrough. So it's one of those that depends on different situations, I think, more so than judging him based on the last 7 in the Premier League.
Yeah, sure. I mean, where do I sit? I think if he doesn't win another game in that last 7, I think he's probably got to go. But I'm hoping that's not the case, and there isn't a decision to make, that he manages to, keep the performances up and keep us in there. Before we move on to the next bit, I just need to say a great big thank you to Creation Wolf. They power extra time for us. They are a superb company. I work with them every week developing things for Always Wolves, and they're not just a website provider, they're not just an app provider. They create real digital solutions to help run your business really, really well. They've got really creative ideas to take your business up to the next level online. I mean, if you're a small business and you want a whole package for running your business behind the scenes, they really have some great digital solutions for your brand and your business. They are superb. So please support them if you can. So Ashley, if you want to take over from here.
Okay, so the next section we're moving on to is the expectations for the last 7 games of the season for us, but then also talking about who we actually think will get relegated, the 3 teams, and then we'll throw it in as well. Do we think Arsenal will win the title after today's performance as well, especially losing to City, or do we think City or somebody else will come in and take it away from them again? So, I mean, I'll open it up to anybody, whoever wants to go first.
Deb, do you want to throw something in there?
Yeah, I'll go first. So with regard to the next 7 games,
do you want me to tell you what we've got? Do you want me to read them out so we know what we've got?
Yeah, go on.
We've got West Ham away. We've got West Ham away, Leeds away, Spurs at home, Sunderland at home, Brighton away, that's a toughie, Fulham at home, Burnley away.
So we've got a couple of 6-pointers in there, haven't we?
Yeah.
Your Spurs, your West Ham, and your Burnleys. I'm actually, based on the last few games, I am actually feeling quite confident, if I'm honest. I'll probably regret saying that. I am feeling relatively confident that we will pick up a few more points, but I think it's too little too late, if I'm honest. It's just a shame we haven't got, I don't know, maybe another half a dozen games to go on as well, but yeah, I think we'll get something from, I'd like to get maximum points at Leeds. And obviously the West Ham game's a big one.
Yeah.
Well, they've got plenty to play for, haven't they?
Yeah.
They could get out of the relegation. They could jump Spurs if they beat us.
Yeah, and they'll want to do that, won't they? Because they'll want to drag Spurs into it even more. Fulham, I've got a soft spot for Fulham, so yeah. So we've got another 21 points to play for, haven't we?
Yeah.
7, 14, 12.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be happy with another 12 points. Yeah. Very
Do you know
optimistic,
what?
But
it's funny you should say 12 points, because when I was writing these down earlier, I went, if we could get this and this and this and this, and my optimistic version got us to 12 points.
I did 11. I think 11.
Yeah,
You got
I was
11.
actually talking to a Leeds supporter yesterday, and he reckons we'll get out of it. He reckons that we'll survive, but I don't know what he's been drinking.
Have they looked at the table?
Well, clearly not. Clearly not. But yeah, I'm going for 12 points.
12 points.
Yeah.
Okay, Alexis, what do you think?
I think the damage has been done and we are going to get relegated, but I feel like we're not going to finish bottom. I think we'll overtake Burnley. Don't know about the others. But I feel like also that possibly we will, like West Ham Wolves, that could be a draw. Leeds Wolves, maybe a draw. I feel like we'll beat Tottenham at Molineux. Sunderland. I think we're going to go unbeaten the rest of the season. I think I'm going to go for, some draws, and I think we'll beat Tottenham and Burnley. They're my 2 wins.
Yeah. Do you think we can beat Brighton? Do you think we can get anything from Brighton away?
They didn't get a draw. Mind you, they played well yesterday, didn't they? I watched that game.
They've been doing all right, haven't they, Brighton? I think that's our toughest, I do, Brighton away.
Yeah, but I feel like Tottenham, like when we went to theirs, we should have beaten them. I just feel like we always do quite well against them. Oh, someone just said that. Yeah, we always do against Tottenham. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a few you could say that we should have done better.
Oh yeah, there are going to be. That's the thing. At the end of the season, I think you can look back on about 5 games and think we should have either held on to the points or at least won with some of them.
Yeah. So you're not convinced on a great escape?
No, I mean it'd be incredible, wouldn't it? They'd make a film about it, but I just don't think.
Yeah, they probably would. Netflix will be like, why weren't we in there for that season?
But yeah, no, realistically, I don't think so. Unfortunately, I think the damage has been done already.
Go on then, Ashley. You what are your thoughts?
I mean, I kind of agreed with Alexis. Like, looking at the games, I thought if we go unbeaten until the end of the season, it would be unreal. And if we did stay up, Rob Edwards would have a statue outside Molineux. I would make sure. I would be going to make sure he did. But obviously, it has been kind of written on the wall since, I'd say, when we were bottom, even before Christmas, I think. It's kind of been written on the wall for us.
If you look back to when Rob Edwards came in, no one was thinking he was going to rescue us. They were all like, it's an impossible job, we're too far behind, and now we're talking about this impossible dream. But the
thing that you have to rely on other teams losing, and it's a lot to go your way.
And they've all, and I think some of them have all got to play each other as well, which makes it even more like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I just had a quick tally up when I was writing down the things to think what could we get, and I was being quite generous, and I thought 12 points. And I thought 12 points, that ain't too bad. But then when I looked at the table, it's like that only takes us up to what West Ham have got now. It takes up to 29 points.
Yeah.
So it's like it is what it is. Bring on the championship.
Yeah, we're going down with a fight. That's what I like about it. It wasn't like that at the beginning of the season. At least we're fighting now.
Yeah. So I feel a bit sad. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I was so I do not want to be in the championship. I really don't want to be in the championship.
No.
But you go through this sort of thing of and now I think we're all sort of resigned to it a little bit. I've been trying to look at the positives. Places we haven't been for a long time. Some new stadiums. No VAR.
Yeah.
And also that apparently we financially will be better off in the Championship from a PSR point of view and FFP sort of things, because the Premier League are bringing in the new wage cap, and that would really restrict what we can do in the summer. But the Championship aren't bringing the wage cap in; they're sticking to the old rules. And because we've sold players, the accounts look good. Our spending capacity will be far more relaxed and far more chilled. We won't be sort of like really fighting to stay within the PSR rules, so that could be another positive for us. But then you go back, if we get back up to the Premier League, we've still got the same old, that PSR and FFP raises its head again, doesn't it? It does feel that so many clubs. I mean, it's really, really hard to get out of the Championship, and then it's really, really hard to stay in the Premier League. And we've seen recently there's been a few teams that have managed to get up and stay up, but then within 2 or 3 years, because of the financial restrictions, they're struggling again. And I mean, I do question whether these rules are completely right, and whether there should be a bit more flexibility. I think if an owner's willing to put the money in and back it up, then they should be allowed to do so. I mean, if you, I'll use this as an example, if you buy a coffee shop, no one's telling you can't invest in that coffee shop to make it the best coffee shop, and you can't have all the fancy machines and the best staff and the best baristas. No one's stopping you spending your money on doing it. But on a football team, which is still a business, you're not allowed to come in and do that. And I get the risks of the clubs and the fans that have suffered, but there should be a way around it, whether they put up some sort of bond, some sort of guarantee that the money's there to cover the wages for however long. So if they spend so much, I don't know. I've digressed. I know. Sorry, I do this a lot. But apparently that's going to be one of the benefits of being in the Championship. We've got to take it all, haven't we? That we can.
Take the positives. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But talking about the Championship, let's have a talk about the summer. There's obviously going to be a real shake. So I want to know who you think will be off, swanning off, doing something else. Who do you think will be a bit flexible and want to stay? And who do you want to keep? Who do you want to keep? Who do you want to get rid of? So we'll have a little chat about the summer. Who wants to throw their hat in the ring there? Who wants to go first?
I don't mind if no one else does.
Go on then, Ashley. And we'll go Ashley, then we'll move on to Deb, and then we'll go to Alexis.
I think the obvious two who are going to go, and it's going to pay me, is João Gomez and Andre. I think they're probably the two obvious ones.
Do you think that's going to be? Do you think that's going to be a real problem, because they are our midfield?
I would say the João Gomez one might be more of a problem than Andre, but that's purely just on. I think João Gomez works harder than Andre does, but I think Andre does some of the unseen stuff that doesn't get a lot of the praise sometimes. But I know we have got like Menetzi's out on loan. I'd back him to come back and do a job in the Championship if he does. Tommy Doyle is on loan at Blues, which again, I'd back him to come back and do well for us. And I think Rob Edwards would like him because he's English. So I think it would be a problem, but obviously all of the Wolves players have said that they'll take the wage cut, and then Wolves can demand whatever money that they want for those players. So hopefully they'll demand the right money for João Gomez and Andre, and then that money can be invested into different players. I think Hugo Bueno might be one that borderline might go, and I think Jose Sarr will go as well. They're like my four that I'm like, certain or 90% certain that might go.
Hugo Bueno's been in the Spanish press in the last week, hasn't he, saying he'd love to play in Spain again.
Yeah.
So
I think if we can keep the back, at least the solid back three-ish that we have now, like Mascara and Krejci and Santi Bueno, like if we can keep those three, I think they will be a very solid back three in the Championship for definite, especially Mascara. I absolutely love him to pieces. So, and then I also think like Chichua will probably stay. Obviously, we've signed Armstrong for the Championship. And if they can sign Angel Gomez for, is it 7 million or something like that, that would be an amazing signing for the Championship. But whether we'd want to stay or not, I don't know.
yeah, do you think he will?
I don't know. From what I heard, like when I watched Sky or if I've been or like listening to it, apparently he wasn't playing very well in the French league and he wasn't getting games. So like if that's the case, he'd probably be a starting midfielder for us every week in the Championship without fail, unless he was injured.
Do you think he's got enough physicality for the Championship, Angel Gomez, or do you think he's a bit?
I'm not sure, but like Neves wasn't the most physical player in the world, but his ball ability was like one of the best or the best. So if he can be like a similar, obviously probably won't ever be as good as Neves because we all love him, but if he can be on that same kind of level in midfield as what Neves was in the Championship, playing balls around, popping up with the odd couple of goals, like then I think he could be good in that aspect if he chose to stay with us. But obviously that's down to him and Rob sorting it out between them. So
other than Zhao and Andre, is there anyone else that you'd be sad to see go?
I'd be sad to lose Hugo Bueno, but obviously I think he's justified that he can be a Premier League left back, or at least like a left back in the Spanish league. See, I've just seen the comment about Mane. The last few games, and someone might slate me for it, I don't think he's been that good. In all honesty, I don't know if he's tired or if it's because he's played so, but I just don't think he's been that good. And I think when he first came in, no one really knew about him. No one knew what he was going to do. So like he was a bit unpredictable. Whereas now, I think Deb said earlier, like Wolves are a very predictable team, and a lot of our creativity they try and go through Mane. So like teams are stopping it now. So I think if someone came in with the 50 million that Wolves were apparently put on him, I actually probably would sell him. Like I don't think I'd miss him that much, in all honesty, because I think there's like, for me, the Championship is about experience, but also bedding in like young players. I think you kind of need a mix of the two, and at the moment we don't have any Championship experience apart from Armstrong and probably a bit of Doherty from before. So I think and Sam Johnson would be the keeper. But yeah, so I think going all youngsters and people who haven't got the experience, as we've seen this season with Vitor when he signed all of them players, it's not really proven a very good method. So I think,
I'll say we'll move on to Deb now, but I was just going to say Nathan Shee has said that they don't want a team that's just going to win the Championship. They want players that are still going to fit in when whether you believe him or not, when we come back up to the Premier League. So he's saying he wants, players that can cross that bridge, not just get us out of the Championship. I mean, Deb, where do you sit with the summer? What are you thinking? Will you be glad to get rid of some?
Yeah. So I'd be keeping or looking to keep Hugo Bueno, Santi Bueno, Krejci, Mosquera. I like for his ability to go forward, because he does like to drive forward. I'm a bit concerned that he's always got a foul in him. But
I quite like that about him.
Yeah. Doc, he hasn't got the legs anymore, but I do think in the Championship we need somebody with a steady head. So I'd perhaps keep him for that reason.
So Doc's out of contract in the summer.
Yeah.
He's out on the 30th of June. Are you giving him a new contract?
Potentially, yes. He knows the Championship. He knows Wolves. Depends what that contract would look like for me, or what other alternatives we've got.
I can't imagine.
Midfield,
Well, there's no fee to pay out on him, is there? And I can't imagine he'll be asking for mega bucks. I think he could be. I think he could be a valuable asset.
Yeah,
I like Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'd be looking to keep Rodrigo Gomez, definitely. Angel Gomez, Armstrong. That's probably the lot. It's inevitable that Gomez and Andre are going to go. And probably being a little bit controversial here, I think maybe it is the time for them to go. Because I think we just... sometimes they give you a couple of really, really solid games. But then there's other games where I'm just thinking, put the ball through, be creative. Just... They're sitting a little bit too deep for me at times, and we need a creative midfielder. And I just don't know if they're going to be up for that challenge in the Championship. So I think, get the money for them. Let's reinvest it in players that know what that league is about. It's going to be so physical in the Championship, and everybody's going to want to get points off us. And we need players that are going to dig in deep, and we've got to score more goals than what we scored this season. And I know everybody has been, even when we had Strand Larsen, it was easy to identify Strand Larsen as the victim, but how many balls were being put through to him? Probably not as many as he would have liked, not as many as we would have liked. The balls just weren't going forward quick enough or creatively enough for me. So we need players in that can do that. Get the balls up to the strikers and at least give them a chance of getting the goal and the ball in the back of the net. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think Armstrong's going to be a good player for the Championship. I'm not sure about Tolu in the Championship. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of the keys.
So I'm having quite a good clear out.
Yeah.
Say that again, sorry, Emma.
Yeah, you're proper shaking it up, aren't you? And do you know what?
I am, yeah.
Point, like, when players have gone in the past, I've been really quite upset when they've gone. Some of them I've got quite attached to, but I don't feel that I've got that same attachment at the moment to a lot of our players.
And I'm concerned that some of them have been bought in to play in the Premier League, and I'm just anxious that they're not going to be committed enough in the Championship, because that's not why they signed for the Wolves. They signed for the Wolves to play in the Premier League.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, it looks like that's not where we're going to be. And are they really going to be up for it for what, 40 plus games midweek, travelling to all over the country? I don't know. I don't know if they are. So yeah. I want players that know the Championship and what it's going to take.
Yeah. Alexis, where do you stand on the summer? What are you thinking?
I just think whatever happens, like who stays or who we get in, it just needs to happen early. I just feel like every season for the past few seasons, Wolves just haven't been ready come the start of the season for some reason. Our pre-seasons are just shocking and we just buy so late. So I just think whatever happens, it needs to be sorted early, and then we just know and actually have a proper pre-season for once.
Well, of course, we've got the World Cup. Championship starts a few weeks before the Premier League as well. And there's not much gap between the World Cup and us starting. But every manager has been saying to Wolves the same things. Too little, it's too late. We need them early. But I do wonder whether the January sales are so that we've got cash in the bank and we're ready to go. Do you know what? I'm hoping that's the case, because I mean, I do think that Nathan Shee does seem to get things a little bit more, possibly because he's not got that much football experience. He's taking on board feedback from proper footballing people, and I'm hoping he's surrounded himself with more footballing advice. So I'm hoping that's one of the things that they've taken on board and they're going to use going forward. But talking about Nathan Shee, he's come out with his statement about the season ticket prices, and we have covered this on the show, but obviously we haven't covered it with all of you ladies. I mean, obviously you all welcome the season ticket price reductions, but do you see that as a first step, or are you still dubious about the direction of travel from Fosun and management?
I'm still concerned.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'd like them to come up and tell us what their vision is. What is their vision for the future of Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club?
Yeah.
And we're not hearing that.
Yeah, what did he say? There was a little line in the statement that said we should be getting back to football. It's football first. And I wrote a bit of an article on it, sort of analysing the statement. And that was one of the key things that I pulled out. It's like, getting back to football first. I hope that's not just a slogan. That's a genuine indication that they are going to focus on football. I mean, Alexis, you're going to speak. What did you think of it? What are your thoughts on the statement?
I just hope he's just not saying what he thinks we want to hear at that time, because it does look more promising than Jeff Shee's. But like I said before, I just feel like time will tell. Like anyone can talk the talk, can't they? But let's see it in action.
Yeah. Well, this is what's been said from the very off, isn't it? It's like it's all about action.
We've just been let down too many times, so I just feel like we need to see it now.
I think maybe the season tickets is a sign that they are listening.
Start. Yeah,
it's definitely a start. So, I mean, Ashley, have you got anything to add that you want to say about Nathan's statement and the general management and running the Wolves?
I mean, Nathan, the girls have kind of covered it anyway, but Nathan has shown promising signs. But I think the season ticket reduction, it was always going to happen anyway, because you can't charge Premier League prices in the Championship. So I do kind of think it would have happened regardless if Jeff Shee was still there or with Nathan Shee now. I kind of think it would have happened, probably maybe not by how much it's going to go down if Jeff Shee was there. But I do think they would have had to have done it anyway, because I know some Wolves fans might, but like I know Wolves fans who wouldn't pay that much to go and watch them in the Championship if it was the same price as the Premier League season ticket. But like, as Alexis said, it's all talk at the moment. It's just whatever else happens going forward, that we can start to have our own judgments and opinions on Nathan Shee. I think it's a bit too early to jump to conclusions right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all the same. That you've all said basically the same thing. That you're optimistic, but there's a bit of caution there. We just got to wait and see. I mean, I feel optimistic. The things I'm hearing about Nathan does suggest that he genuinely wants to move it forward. He has also said that if he doesn't get us back into the Premier League, he'll be out of a job. That's his brief. Get us. That's his brief. August 2020-27. Wolves are to be in the Premier League, and if he doesn't achieve that, he's failed. But I also think we've got to come up in first or second spot. I think coming up via the playoffs doesn't. We need to be coming up. But they're coming up as champions. 150th anniversary in West Park, big party, celebrating promotion and our 150 years. You can't beat it, can you? Who's there? I'm there.
That does sound good.
Yeah, let's hope they live up to it. We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah.
This time next year, if we're still having the same conversations, we're not all upbeat. It'll be like, here we go again, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah. So, having had a little natter about that, I'm going to talk to everyone. Oh, Minecraft Master's joining my party. All right, Minecraft Master.
Oh yeah.
I will join you, Emma. Yeah, I think there'll be a fair few Wolves fans that would join me for that one. I've lost my train of thought now, but I was going to tell you all the ladies on screen are part of Girls in Old Gold, and I know I've been going on about it for ages and ages and ages, but Girls in Old Gold is a lovely group of ladies. There's over 200 ladies now that have joined, all Mad Wolves fans. Vast majority of them support the men's team. Some of them support the women's team. A lot support both. And we're just a group of women supporting other women. And, oh, there we are on the screen. So we're just a group of women supporting other women, supporting Wolves. And it's just a really, really nice group of ladies that love Wolves. So we have a Facebook group which is on the screen at the moment. Now, I will tell you now, the Facebook group is a ladies only group, and it's a space where they can chat and talk about Wolves. That's well moderated. So that's its purpose. But the group as a whole, anyone can join. So it doesn't matter what gender you are. So even if you're a man, as long as you support female voices in football, you can be part of our group. So to do that, you can go along to the website, click the join button, fill out the form. Lots of people have already done this, so thank you to those. My first newsletter that we did went out. I think it was Friday and Saturday. It went out over 2 days to the people that had signed up, just saying what we were doing and an update. But please fill in the membership form on the website. And we are on Twitter, we are on TikTok, and we are on Instagram. So follow us on there and keep in touch with everything we are doing. Moving on to what we are doing, the ladies are having a get together. We are meeting up because you might have seen that Wolves women have a massive game next week on Sunday. So Sunday, 29th of March, the women are playing at Molineux, not at Telford. It's local for a lot of you. It's at Molineux. Get yourself a ticket. I think an adult is £5 and concessions, they're not that much, they're about £3. So it's a really cheap day out, particularly if you've got a family and there's a group of you want to go. So get your tickets for that. And if you go into that, come and meet the girls in Old Gold at Tunwall's Cafe beforehand. Tunwall's are a lovely little cafe. They're in Victoria Street. Which is the one that runs between the Manda Centre and the old Beatties building. It's just down there. They're not the little old building, and they are opening especially for the Wolves women match. So it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. Come along and say hello and just have a bit of a social. We'd love to see you there. But we'll just have a little bit of natter about the women, because they're scoring some goals, aren't they? Ashley, you follow the women a little bit. You tell us about the women and what's good about them at the moment.
Well, I'm not the best person because I've been watching more of the men's recently, but I know they won 5-0 today.
They did, yeah.
I know it was off the back of losing to Burnley last weekend, which I think or the weekend before, I can't remember exactly when it was. But like, I know that they took that like quite tough because they thought that they probably should have got some out of the game. But you know, it's football; it happens. But they are scoring loads of goals, and I think they're either like still top or second in the league, as I'm guessing. As I say, I haven't really looked too much today because I've been focused on the men's games and the cup final and everything. But they are doing well and continuing their push for obviously to get the long-awaited promotion that they do deserve. And the game on Sunday will be massive in the Black Country derby. So hopefully loads of Wolves fans will get down there with their young girls, and you know, like us lot will all be, well, most of us lot will all be there, those of us who can make it. So it should be a really good afternoon next week, and then hopefully Dan and the girls can get the result as well.
Yeah, it's just popped up on the screen. If you've got any questions for any of us ladies, drop them in the comments, and we'll come to those shortly as soon as we've rounded up on the Wolves women. But you're right. The women are having a fantastic season. If you want to see goals, they're banging in the goals. I think we went to one game and they won 17-0. It was. I'll tell you what. There were some real crackers of goals, and they're pretty feisty, the ladies. They're bad. But they were really, really unlucky last week. They lost 1-0 to Burnley. Burnley are top of the league. I think there's a point in it.
Yeah.
But like both teams are going great guns and winning everything. They've won 5-0 again today, the ladies, against Loughborough Lightning. 5-0, banging in the goals. It's great. But they lost to Burnley, but it was quite controversial last week. And I put it like this: Macca in his interview did criticise the referee a bit, and he did question whether the referee had done a good enough job, because the lady, we had the ball in the back of the net. Georgia Marshall put it in, but the ref ruled it out for a foul in the build-up, and there wasn't a foul in the build-up. I think he said Charlotte Greengrass had fouled a Burnley player, but it wasn't. It was the other way around. Well, it was a bit of a 50-50, really, I think. So there was nothing in it, and you do sort of question, coming back to Deb's point earlier on, because Burnley are fully professional. They're like, I mean, in the week up to that, they'll have had some proper training sessions. They'll have had their food managed, all their macros sorted. It will be measured. It will be perfect. It'll be exactly what they need. They'll have had a spa day. They'll have had all the massages. They'll have had everything. Whereas our ladies will have been to work and trained after work. I mean, there's a few that are sort of on part-time contracts and whatever, but when you compare the difference in support and what they've got, you've got to admire our ladies for what they're doing and what they're achieving this season. And for a few years now, they've been knocking on that door for WSL2, and it would have been nice to have beat Burnley and have the possibility of going up as champions. It's still not off the cards. It's still, but it's a bit like Wolves relying on other results. We've got to rely on Burnley not picking up the results. So there is, if they don't finish as champions, there's a playoff. So we're in line to get to the playoffs, but that's just one match, and basically, the league. I'll tell you. You probably. Our league is divided into north and south. So whoever comes second in the north and the south, they have the playoff to decide who else goes up to WSL2. But fingers crossed. it's still on for the ladies. They can still get promotion, and it'd be great to get loads of you there next Sunday to cheer them on. And we'll go from there. Let's hope we do have Wolves have some joy in some department. It would be nice. So, anyone want to add anything on the ladies before we ask whether there's any questions? No. Right. So what? Carl's got a question for there. Is there a top class player in the ladies' game you would like to see sign for Wolves women? Does anyone want to answer that, or should I go with it?
Yeah, sorry,
I'm happy for you to go for it, Emma.
I'll go with it, Carl. I primarily follow the men's game. I go to the ladies' game, but I don't know anywhere near enough about the ladies' game as I should know. So no, I don't know of anyone, but I would say that recruitment on the women's team has been pretty good. I've been pretty impressed, and I think possibly Maka being such a brilliant manager has attracted talent. So I'm along the lines of keep doing what you're doing. But I think if they go up, I think they've got to have. We would have to go semi-professional, professional. I don't know if you know any more about this, Ashley, but I think if we go up, everyone has to have 20 hours on the grass. So that would mean at least part-time contracts.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see what happens.
I think
Any
if
more
they
questions?
go up, I've got one, like a player, if they went up to the second tier, if I'd take a punt on if Lucy Bronze gets closer to retirement age, take a punt on her for like a season. She's my favourite player. So if she ever came to Wolves, it would be unbelievable. But I know it's a big punt. But I think WSL 2, you saw it with Newcastle when they went into it. They signed the likes of like Demi Stokes, really, really experienced WSL players who can help. Newcastle's women obviously went from quite a similar to Wolves, but they went kind of like fully pro or fully semi-pro, so they could attract players. I think if Wolves did something similar, they could attract maybe some experienced but older players just to help them gain that ground in the WSL 2 before pushing up to say the WSL maybe one day, fingers crossed as well.
Okay, we've got a non-footballing question next. What are your hobbies and interests outside of supporting Wolves? Anyone do anything interesting other than Wolves?
I feel like Wolves takes up a
Eating
lot
and
of my time.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do I do? I feel like I live and breathe Wolves at the minute. It feels like go home and away. Obviously, we do things like this.
Yeah, that's why this is weird. This 24 days off, because I'm like, what am I doing? I just feel like it's always Wolves.
Yeah, normally we've got a holiday booked. We're normally like international break is holiday.
Oh yeah,
yeah, travel. We like to travel.
Yes.
Up and down the country.
Yeah.
We like to travel up and down the country for the Wolves games. So there you go, Matthew. Primarily, we're Wolves. Are your partners Wolves supporters? So, Deb, I know Colin's a Wolves supporter, isn't he?
Yeah, so my hubby's a home and away season ticket holder like myself. He was actually already following the Wolves when I met him, so he's a long-standing Wolves supporter, yeah. So and it does help having a partner with a very same interest. It saves for any arguments. We're both very passionate about the football.
Yeah. Alexis, have you got a partner? And
yeah, he's a Liverpool fan.
Oh, should we boo him now? Is he watching? Is he watching?
I don't know.
Now. Everyone in the chat, boo Alexis's partner.
Yeah, afraid so.
Ashley, you're from a Wolves family, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't have a partner, but my dad's a Wolves fan. My granddad's a Wolves fan. My mum's a Liverpool fan as well. So, and then my nan is a Man U fan. So, kind of a bit of a mix. But I follow like my dad and my
Is she a
granddad.
glory
so-
hunter, your dad?
Uh,
From the years ago, I don't mean now. You can't be following Man United
No,
now.
I think she had. I think she always had a soft spot for Alex Ferguson and what he did with like Man U at the time. So, and I think she liked Beckham and players like that. So, I think she just got drawn to United. Is my guess. She says she's a Wolves fan, but she's always looking at how United have got on. So,
Yeah. So, yeah. And obviously, you all know me because I'm married today.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you now what I got called the other day. I got called Mrs. Dazzling. Apparently, I'm Emma Dazzling. So,
That sounds nice.
oh dear, it did make me laugh. Right, so we got another question from Rebecca. If Rob Edwards was gone, who would you like to see as Wolves manager? Anyone want to take that one?
Ooh.
Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank, really?
He took
What do
Brentford
you like
up
about?
and
I need to know, what do you like about Thomas Frank?
thought the way he took Brentford up and like they were pretty consistent for years, like when they were in and around that mid-table kind of thing. And I think, okay, yeah, gone to Tottenham and he wasn't the greatest, but I don't think it can solely be all blamed on him either. So I'd probably take a punt on Thomas Frank because I feel like he's a good, experienced Championship and then Premier League manager overall if Rob was to go.
Yeah. I'm not sure we'd get Thomas Frank, but I can't stand him. Do you know what I think? Yeah,
Why?
he did a great job, and I think as a manager he would. Do you know what? It's from the away games, from going to Brentford, and he comes along and he claps all the Brentford fans, but then when it comes to the Wolves fans, he's there, smug as anything, clapping the Wolves fans. I'm like, get knotted. And there's just something about him. He just seems to be, I don't know. I think if he came in at Wolves, I would accept him as manager and be like, right, get behind him. But underline there'd be a bit of a like, what? Do you know what I'm talking about, Deb? You've been to Brentford away.
I have been to Brentford away. Yeah. I'm not sure about Thomas Frank, but I'm not sure. I've not really thought about the next manager if we're in that position. But I don't know. Maybe somebody like a Graham Potter, somebody like that. But again, I'm
going to ask you one really quick question. We're coming towards the end, so you can give me a yes or a no to this. Merv Bennett says Nuno will be available if West Ham go down, and I'm going to ask you the question: if Nuno would come to Wolves and he was available, are you sticking with Rob, or are you going to twist and go with Nuno? Ashley.
Is it no as if we wouldn't want him back, or no as in
Yes, you'd twist and go with Nuno.
No, I wouldn't.
You'd stick with Rob?
Yeah. Because I feel like if Nuno came back, he'd ruin it. If it doesn't go to plan, he'd ruin all his reputation that he'd already built up.
So you think he'd spoil his legacy?
Yeah, if it wasn't to go to plan. So
Deb,
I wouldn't risk it.
Yeah, Deb, are you switching, or are you sticking?
I'm sticking. I think for the same reasons as Ashley, and yeah, I just think there's too much water gone under the bridge, and yeah, I want to hold that memory of the European games and all of that, and yeah. So
Alexis, you're laughing. You don't know where to go, do you?
No, because I feel like I could be like, absolutely, Nuno. but no one else agrees.
I do. I cried for 3 days when Nuno left. I'm like,
It didn't sit right with me when it happened. So I feel like, are we saying though, if when we go down,
yeah.
straight away, are we giving Rob a chance in the championship, or are we just like Nuno or Rob in the championship straight away?
At the end of the season, Nuno's out of work, and you've got a choice between Rob or Nuno. Are you sticking with Rob, or are you twisting and going with Nuno?
I'm going with Nuno, sorry.
There you go, Merv. Hopefully we've entertained you on that one. He's put another question up, so we'll have to answer it. This is the final question because I'm gasping for a cup of tea. I don't know about you ladies, but all this talking, I need a drink. That's a hint. That's a hint to Mr. Dazzling.
Put the kettle on.
Favourite game ever, and this really is the final question. We'll go with Deb first. What's your favourite game?
Oh, favourite game ever. Oh God.
You can name a couple if you want.
So obviously the game against Derby when Neves scored that absolute worldie.
Yeah.
And just witnessing that live and everything paused for a moment because we could not believe what we had just witnessed. That's got to be one of mine. Leicester in the Premier League when we came back and won 4-3, I think it was.
Yeah.
But going further back and that some of the games in League One with Kenny Jackett were just Middlesbrough away when we were down to 9 men. Just the steel and the balls that we had to win those kind of games, and that's what we need now. We need steel and balls. So, yeah.
Beyond that, Alexis, have you got a favourite game?
No, I'm trying to think. No, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone.
Yeah, I must admit, like you, I don't remember. It's like once it's happened, it's like I have to let go of all that baggage and move on.
Yeah.
Ashley, have you got a favourite game?
Okay, I've got like 4 quick that stick out. The best one I've been to in person, the Liverpool game recently, unreal. Beating them was unreal. So that's my best one in person. Other games, FA Cup against the Albion a couple of seasons ago. Neto and Cunha's celebration will forever live in my head.
Yeah. Were you watching that on the telly or were you there?
On the TV. My dad won't let me go to an away game at the Albion, especially anyway. So, beating City 3-2 at home. I think Doherty scored the winner, if I remember rightly, a few seasons ago. And then I had another one, and it's gone out of my head now. But I'll go with Villa. Whenever we play them at home, we seem to beat them. But last season, when Cunha took his top off and just, was like, that was like perfect. So,
yeah. I'm going to go. My favourite ever game was Torino away. Just because it was the first European game.
Yeah.
It was incredible. All the Wolves fans were in the bars in one square in Turin. The weather was beautiful. Yeah. The experience was fantastic.
Oh.
I mean, I loved all the away games for Europe. Istanbul was probably the best experience, but because Turin was the very first one, I'm going to go with Torino away, and all the Juventus fans cheering us on. That was kind of cool too. David's having his say in the comments, but
the Cardiff game as well in the Championship when they missed 2 penalties and Nuno just ran on the pitch and Neil Warnock went mad about it. That was also a good one.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And going 2-0 down to Villa and coming back 3-2, Ruben Neves goals. That was good. I remember the two Wolves fans behind me absolutely having at fisticuffs. They were whatever. Me, little old me, it's like I'm like the mom. Oi, pack it in. And then by the end of the game, they're virtually snogging each other. You were like arch enemies 5 minutes ago. So yeah, so lots and lots of memories. I am going to finish it off there. Obviously, because of the time, I think we've talked enough. We've had a real good natter. It's been a brilliant input from all of you lovely ladies. You really know your stuff on Wolves, all of you. So I'm just going to ask each of you one by one for just your final few words just to finish off the show. And we'll start with you, Deb.
What, any kind of words?
Yeah. How are you feeling?
For me now, it's damage limitation. What will be, we'll still be there. It's in our blood, and bring it on.
Alexis?
Yeah, completely agree. I feel like let's catch Burnley and see you next season, whenever that may be.
Ashley?
Yeah, it's not over till it's over. Come on, Rob. Yeah, let's catch Burnley and see what happens next season and beyond.
Yeah, I don't want to finish bottom. Let's get above Burnley.
I don't think we're going to. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. And I'm just going to close out with Rob Edwards always says, only think about the next game. The next game is on Sunday for Wolves women against Albion. Come along to the Girls in Old Gold meetup at Tunwalls, and we'll have a wander down to the game and we'll cheer on the girls. They beat Albion in the week this week 2-0, so let's hope we can get another good result. And on that note, we're over and out. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been lovely chatting to you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you everyone.
Bye.